Hey guys, Mark McMahon Real Estate. Today I want to talk about seller financing, how you can arrange it, how you can do it, why it's a great tool to have in your tool belt. First of all, if you guys are interested in something like that, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and also hit the notification button. Allie loves it. Thanks so much. All right guys, so seller financing is probably the best tool you can have in your tool belt as a real estate investor. Seller financing, just to tell you what it is real quick, basically just means you're going to find somebody that wants to sell their house, but they don't want all the money up front, or you may be able to explain to them why it's more advantageous for them to take the money over time rather than taking it all at once. It could be because of the tax implications. It could be just because they want to keep that money coming in every month if it was maybe a rental for them. There's a lot of different reasons for it, but I always ask people if that's something that's an option, because it is by far better than bank financing. No qualifying, obviously, and you can work out whatever terms you want. So today we're going to go over 3 different scenarios for owner financing. You can use any of them. You can start maybe thinking about ways that you can come up with your own. Allie's going to put a couple of links down below for mortgage calculators. Now, I don't own these mortgage calculators, so if they hit you up for bank loans, then that's the way it goes. But we're going to put a balloon mortgage calculator in there, and we're also just going to put a mortgage calculator in there so you guys can quickly figure out, play with it a little bit so you can figure out what the numbers look like. Because you need to know what the numbers are going to look like when you go into someone's house. You don't want to fumble around and go, yeah, I think it's going to be definitely want to know what you're talking about when you walk in. So let's go to the first one. First one, and I'm going to refer to my notes. So first one is going to be seller financing, plain and simple, 0 down, 180 months, amortized over 15 years, 180 months. And that's going to pay off that $100,000 loan. So we've got $100,000, and it's at the end of the term of 15 years, you'll owe 0. So this one's really simple to figure out on the mortgage calculator. So you just simply put in the amount of time, and the interest rate. So we're going to use on all these, we're going to use 3%, and we're also going to use $100,000 to keep it simple. So your payment for 15 years is going to be $690 and 58 cents. All right. Now this is not including property taxes or insurance, so make sure and put that in. But this is what your monthly payment's going to be, and it'll be paid off in 15 years. That makes sense. Remember the rule: if it's a good deal and it cash flows, do it. So if this makes sense and you still cash flow and use the 40% rule, which is in the video down below, or actually it's going to be at the end. Allie will put a link to the 40% rule. If it makes sense with those things, then do it. Don't stop. Don't wait. If you get seller financing like this, do it. All right? So that's number 1. Number 2 would be interest only. Now you might say, well, if I do interest only, it's never going to pay it off. That's true. But think about this. Interest only on $100,000 at 3%, again, your interest only loan is going to be $416 a month. So, answer me this. You're at 700 here, you're at 416 here. You're going to cash flow more here. It's really, really obvious. But you're never going to pay off the loan. Keep in mind, though, over the period of time, whatever you decide that you want to keep this term for, that house is probably going to go up in value and the rents are going to go up. So even though you're paying interest only, the value of the home should be going up and the rent should be going up. So you may still owe that $100,000 at the end, but the house may now be worth $200,000 or $300,000 whenever you decide to stop. So interest only can be a really interesting way to make a deal happen, even though you're not going to be paying down the principal, because the principal is going to be, in theory, much smaller years down the road. So keep that in mind. So that's interest only. Number 3, this is kind of a hybrid, let's call it. So this is going to be $100K, and it's going to be at 3%, of course, because that's what we're using. That's our criteria. It's going to be a 30-year amortized, but here's the kicker, due in 10. So you're going to be making payments as if it was 30 years, but you're going to have 10 years of payments like that. Okay, so how does that work? So at the end of 10 years, you're not going to have paid off this entire loan, right? Because you're paying as if it's 30 years. At the end of 10 years, in reality, you're going to have another 20 years to pay, but you're not going to do that. You're going to make what we call a balloon payment at the end, right? So at the end, you're going to have a large amount of money to pay off. Now, we're doing this one for a 10-year payoff. I can't read my own writing, but what the hell. All right, so we're gonna have a 10-year balloon. So in other words, we're gonna make payments for 10 years, even though we're making payments like it's 30 years. All right, so at the end of 10 years, we will owe $76,440. All right, that'll be our balloon payment at the end. But we will have paid down almost $25,000 on that loan. So as opposed to the interest only, at the end of 10 years here, we paid off $25,000. Yes, we still have that balloon payment. At that time, I would go to the person and say, look, here's the deal. I can either pay it off now, or we can just let it ride and we can just let it go for 30 years. I'll rewrite the contract and we can pay it off that way. This gives you a lot of options. Another nice thing about this is perhaps if you're buying something from an older person, maybe they're not going to be around in 10 years. And the people that they're closest to, their kids or whatever, are going to inherit that note. They want to inherit the property. They're going to inherit this note. You can go to them and say, hey guys, here's the deal. I've been paying on this for a while. Maybe you guys would like to cash out. What do you say? And they may go for it. They may not. They may go, yeah, I want the money right now. Okay, great. Well, I've got $76,000 left on it. Now, of course, this is at the end, and you would be required to pay the balloon. But say we're somewhere in the middle, 5 years in, and let's just say the $76,000 is what you owed. You can negotiate with them at that point. Even though you owe $76,000, they may want that cash so badly, they don't want to wait another 5 years to get their money. They may want it right then and there. Maybe they want to buy a new big screen TV and a cool car with big rims and a loud stereo, right? Kind of what happens a lot of times when people inherit properties. So you can use that to your advantage. I would go to them and say, look, right now we're at $76,000. I'm willing to pay off this note for $50,000 right now. $50,000 cash, and I get the house free and clear. You guys get your $50,000 and we can part ways. And they may go, no, you owe me 76. And then you go, okay, I understand. I feel you. So let's just go ahead and keep going for the next 5 years, and I'll keep making these payments of, what is it? I'm sorry, $421. I didn't put that down. So they'd be getting $421 a month. They may not like that. They may have dreams of the big screen TV. They may have dreams of that big pickup truck with the big wheels and tires. That's what you got to play on, guys. That's what you got to do. This is real estate investing. You've got to learn how to make the situation fit and work for you. They may want that $50,000. You have to talk them into it. And if they don't, great. Then you're making payments for another 5 years, then they get their balloon payment. But anytime during that time when they need money, they may come to you. So the longer you can stretch out this period, the more bargaining power you have. All right, so remember that. Guys, I hope this helps kind of explain how creative financing can work. There's so many other ways to do this. There's 500 different ways, and I hope you'll sit down with a yellow pad tonight and you'll use those mortgage calculators and start playing with it so that you can figure out other ways to do it. And if you have an idea, leave it in the comments so everybody else can see it. That would be really cool. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please hit the notifications. Allie likes that so much. And stay tuned for another video coming out next week, guys. Allie's gonna put a couple of videos up over here that'll kind of help with this as far as figuring out your expenses. I'll see you next time.
Hey guys, check out these 2 videos. They're really gonna help you on your investment journey. I'm also on Instagram Tons of great video content there. Really good stuff. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.